Helena Bonham Carter, CBE, is an English actress. She made her acting debut in a television adaptation of K.M. Peyton's A Pattern of Roses before her debut film role as the titular character in Lady Jane. She is known for her roles in films, such as A Room with a View, Fight Club, The King's Speech, and playing Bellatrix Lestrange in the Harry Potter series. She frequently collaborates with her domestic partner, director Tim Burton, in films such as Planet of the Apes, Big Fish, Corpse Bride, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, Alice in Wonderland, and Dark Shadows. In 2012, she played Miss Havisham in Great Expectations, and Madame Thénardier in Les Misérables. A two-time Academy Award nominee for her performances in The Wings of the Dove and The King's Speech, Bonham Carter's acting has been further recognized with 7 Golden Globe nominations, an International Emmy Award for Best Actress, 3 Primetime Emmy Award nominations, a BAFTA Award, and a Screen Actors Guild Award. She was made a Commander of the Order of the British Empire in the 2012 New Year Honours List for services to drama, and received the honour from the Queen at Buckingham Palace on February 22, 2012. In January 2014, British Prime Minister David Cameron announced that Bonham Carter had been appointed to Britain's new National Holocaust Commission. Early life: Bonham Carter was born in Golders Green, London. Her mother, Helena, is a psychotherapist who is mainly of Jewish background. Her father, Raymond Bonham Carter, who came from a prominent British political family, was a merchant banker and served as the alternative British director representing the Bank of England at the International Monetary Fund in Washington, D.C. During the 1960s. Bonham Carter has 2 brothers, Edward and Thomas. She was educated at South Hampstead High School, and completed her A-levels at Westminster School. Bonham Carter was denied admission to King's College, Cambridge, not because of her academic performance, but because college officials were afraid that she would leave during the course to pursue her acting career. When Bonham Carter was 5, her mother had a serious nervous breakdown, from which it took her 3 years to recover. Upon her recovery, her experience in therapy led her to become a psychotherapist herself. Bonham Carter now pays her to read her scripts and deliver her opinion of the character's psychological motivations. 5 years after her mother's recovery, her father was diagnosed with acoustic neuroma. He suffered complications during an operation to remove the tumor, which led to a stroke that left him half paralyzed and using a wheelchair. With her 2 older brothers at college, Bonham Carter was left to help her mother cope. She would later study her father's movements and mannerisms for her role in The Theory of Flight. He died in January 2004. Career. Early career: Bonham Carter, who has no formal acting training, entered the field winning a national writing contest and used the money to pay for her entry into the Actors Spotlight directory. She made her professional acting copyright but at the age of 16 in a television commercial. She also had a part in a minor TV film, A Pattern of Roses. Her first lead film role was as Lady Jane Grey in Lady Jane, which was given mixed reviews by critics. Her breakthrough role was Lucy Honeychurch in A Room with a View, which was filmed after Lady Jane, but released beforehand. Bonham Carter also appeared in episodes of Miami Vice as Don Johnson's love interest during the 1986-87 season, and then, in 1987, opposite Dirk Bogarde in The Vision and Stuart Granger in A Hazard of Hearts. Bonham Carter was originally cast in the role of Bess McNeil in Breaking the Waves, but backed out during production due to the character's painful psychic and physical exposure, according to Roger Ebert. The role went to Emily Watson, who was nominated for an Academy Award for her performance. In 1994, Bonham Carter appeared in a dream sequence during the 2nd season of the British comedy series Absolutely Fabulous, playing Edina Monsoon's daughter Saffron, who was normally played by Julia Sawalha. Throughout the series, references were made to Saffron's resemblance to Bonham Carter. Her early films led to her being typecast as a corset queen, and English Rose, playing Brie and early 20th century characters, particularly in Merchant Ivory films. She played Olivia in Trevor Nunn's film version of Twelfth Night in 1996. One of the high points of her early career was her performance as the scheming Kate Crowe in the 1997 film adaptation of Wings of the Dove, which was highly acclaimed internationally and netted her first Golden Globe and Academy Award nominations. She has since expanded her range, with her more recent films being Fight Club, Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were Rabbit, and partner Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Corpse Bride, Big Fish, Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, and Alice in Wonderland. Later career. Bonham Carter speaks French fluently, starring in a 1996 French film Portraits Chinois. In August 2001, she was featured in Maxim. She played her second Queen of England when she was cast as Anne Boleyn in the ITV1 mini-series Henry VIII. However, her role was restricted, as she was pregnant with her first child at the time of filming. Bonham Carter was a member of the 2006 Cannes Film Festival jury that unanimously selected The Wind That Shakes the Barley as Best Film. In May 2006, Bonham Carter launched her own fashion line, the Pantaloonies, with swimwear designer Samantha Sage. Their first collection, called Bloomin' Bloomers, is a Victorian-style selection of camisoles, mob caps and bloomers. The duo are now working on Pantaloonies customized jeans, which Bonham Carter describes as a kind of scrapbook on the bum. Bonham Carter played Bellatrix Lestrange in the final 4 Harry Potter films. While filming Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, she accidentally ruptured the eardrum of Matthew Lewis when she stuck her wand in his ear. Bonham Carter received positive reviews as Lestrange, described as a shining but underused talent. She played Mrs. Lovett, Sweeney Todd's amorous accomplice in the film adaptation of Stephen Sondheim's Broadway musical, Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Directed by Tim Burton, Bonham Carter received a nomination for the Golden Globe for Best Actress for her performance. She won the Best Actress award in the 2007 Evening Standard British Film Awards for her performances in Sweeney Todd and Conversations with Other Women, along with another Best Actress award at the 2009 Empire Awards. Bonham Carter also appeared in the 4th Terminator film entitled Terminator Salvation, playing a small but pivotal role. Bonham Carter joined the cast of Tim Burton's 2010 film, Alice in Wonderland as the Red Queen. She appears alongside Johnny Depp, Anne Hathaway, Mia Wasikowska and Crispin Glover. Her role was an amalgamation of the Queen of Hearts and the Red Queen. In early 2009, Bonham Carter was named one of the Times newspaper's top 10 British actresses of all time. She appeared on the list with fellow actresses Julie Andrews, Helen Mirren, Maggie Smith, Judi Dench and Audrey Hepburn. In 2010, Bonham Carter played Lady Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon in the film The King's Speech. As of January 2011, she had received numerous plaudits for her performance, including nominations for the BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Supporting Role and the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. She won her first BAFTA Award, but lost the Academy Award to Melissa Leo for The Fighter. Bonham Carter signed to play author Enid Blyton in the BBC4 television biopic, Enid. It was the first depiction of Blyton's life on the screen, and Bonham Carter starred with Matthew Macfadyen and Dennis Lawson. She received her first television BAFTA nomination for Best Actress, for Enid. In 2010, she starred with Freddie Highmore in the Nigel Slater biopic Toast, which was filmed in the West Midlands and received a gala at the 2011 Berlin Film Festival. She received the Britannia Award for British Artist of the Year from BAFTA LA in November 2011. In 2012, Bonham Carter appeared as Miss Havisham in Mike Newell's adaptation of the Charles Dickens novel, Great Expectations. In April 2012, she appeared in Rufus Wainwright's music video for his single Out of the Game, featured on the album of the same name. Bonham Carter co-starred in a film adaptation of the musical Les Mis copyright Rebels, released in 2012. She played the role of Madame Thénardier copyright Nadia. On May 17, 2012, it was announced that Bonham Carter will be appearing in an adaptation of Rafe Larson's book The Selected Works of T.S. Spivet, entitled The Young and Prodigious Spivet. Her casting was announced alongside that of Kathy Bates, Kyle Catlett and Callum Keith Rennie, with Jean-Pierre Jeunet directing. She also appeared in a short film directed by Roman Polanski for the clothing brand Prada. The short was entitled A Therapy, and she appeared as a therapy patient to Ben Kingsley's therapist. She will play the fairy godmother in a live-action reimagining of Walt Disney's Cinderella. In 2013, she played Red Harrington, a peg-legged brothel madam, who assists Reed and Tonto in locating Cavendish, in the movie The Lone Ranger. In 2013, Bonham Carter narrated poetry for the Love Book app, an interactive anthology of love literature developed by Ali Bernaziri. Also in 2013, Bonham Carter appeared as Elizabeth Taylor, alongside Dominic West as Richard Burton, in BBC4's Burton and Taylor, which premiered at the 2013 Hamptons International Film Festival. Personal life. In 2001, Bonham Carter began her relationship with director Tim Burton, whom she met while filming Planet of the Apes. Burton has taken to casting her in his films, including Big Fish, Corpse Bride, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, Alice in Wonderland, and Dark Shadows. They live in two adjoining houses in Belsize Park, London. Bonham Carter owned one of the houses, Burton later purchased the other, and they connected the two. In 2006, they bought the Mill House in Sutton Courtenay, England. It was previously leased by her grandmother, Violet Bonham Carter, and owned by her great-grandfather, former Prime Minister Herbert Asquith. On October 4, 2003, Bonham Carter gave birth to their son Billy Raymond Burton. Bonham Carter gave birth to their daughter Nell Burton, on December 15, 2007 in central London. She says she named her daughter Nell after all the Helens in her family. Bonham Carter told the Daily Telegraph and several other interviewers of her struggles with fertility and the difficulties she had during her pregnancies. She also said that before the conception of her daughter, she and Burton had been trying for a baby for 2 years, and although they conceived naturally, they were considering IVF. In August 2008, 4 of her relatives were killed in a safari bus crash in South Africa, and she was given indefinite leave from filming Terminator Salvation, returning later to complete filming. In 2008, Bonham Carter and Burton sold their American apartments for $8.75 million. In early October 2008, it was reported that Bonham Carter had become a patron of the charity Action Duchenne, the national charity established to support parents and sufferers of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. In the media, Bonham Carter is known for her unconventional sense of fashion, which has been described as shabby chic. Despite her often controversial fashion choices, Vanity Fair named her on its 2010 Best Dressed list, and she was selected by Marc Jacobs to be the face of his Autumn-Winter 2011 advertising campaign. She has cited Vivienne Westwood and Marie Antoinette as her main style influences. Ancestry, paternal. Bonham Carter's paternal grandparents were British Liberal politician Sir Maurice Bonham Carter and renowned politician and orator Violet Bonham Carter. Helena's paternal great-grandfather was H. H. Asquith, 1st Earl of Oxford and Prime Minister of Britain 1908 to 1916. She is the grandniece of Asquith's son, Anthony Asquith, legendary English director of such classics as Carrington v.C. and The Importance of Being Earnest, and a first cousin of the economist Adam Ridley. Bonham Carter is a distant cousin of fellow actor Crispin Bonham Carter, who played Mr. Bingley in the 1995 BBC production of Pride and Prejudice, and politician Jane Bonham Carter. Other prominent distant relatives include Lothian Bonham Carter, who played first-class cricket for Hampshire, his son, Vice Admiral Stuart Bonham Carter, who served in the Royal Navy in both World Wars, and pioneering English nurse Florence Nightingale. Maternal, her maternal grandfather, Spanish diplomat Eduardo Providencia Cubden, saved thousands of Jews from the Holocaust during World War II, for which he was recognized as righteous among the nations. He later served as minister-counselor at the Spanish Embassy in Washington, D.C. Her maternal grandmother, Ha copyright Lani-Fold Springer, was from an upper-class Jewish family. She was the daughter of Baron Eugen Springer and Marie Cecile von Springer. Ha copyright Lani-Fold Springer converted to Catholicism after World War II. Ha copyright Lani's sister was the French philanthropist Liliane de Rothschild, the wife of Baron Pamela de Rothschild, of the prominent Rothschild family. Her other sister, Therese Fold Springer, was the mother of British writer David Price Jones. Ancestry, awards and nominations. Bonham Carter has been the recipient of a BAFTA Award, a Critics' Choice Movie Award and a Screen Actors Guild Award, as well as receiving further nominations for 2 Academy Awards, 7 Golden Globe Awards and 3 Primetime Emmy Awards. She has received other prestigious awards such as a Satellite Award and 2 National Board of Review Awards. Filmography, film, television, theatre, radio, references. External links, Helena Bonham Carter at the Internet Movie Database, Helena Bonham Carter at AllMovie, Helena Bonham Carter at the TCM Movie Database, Helena Bonham Carter at Emmys.com.